Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I'm honored to join with you in terms of putting forward this legislation. As you've indicated in your remarks, identity theft is vitally important to the American people, as is Social Security itself, the nation's #1 insurance plan, the nation's #1 program with respect to making sure that our elderly stay off of poverty and our children stay off of poverty. And more veterans, of course, rely on Social Security disability than they do the VA. Yet, important as identity theft is, and it is, and we must take it serious, it's also important that we fund Social Security appropriately. And the Social Security Administration is the most effective and efficient agency we have in the federal government. In insurance parlance, they operate at what's called a 99% loss ratio. I come from an insurance capital. That means that they are able to operate their agency and serve the more than 66 million Americans with under 1% administrative cost. They don't need to be cut. They need to be enhanced, and especially in this area of identity fraud as well. And so I think it's incumbent upon us not only to strengthen the Social Security Administration so they're capable of doing their job, especially after the devastation we've seen from the pandemic and what that's done all across the country and the nation, and specifically with an agency. There is no other federal agency, none, that operates and administers what it has to do with under 1%. That is incredible. We should be striving to make a model of what Social Security does and how effective they've been in terms of getting, because they certainly, as we all would agree, having talked to our constituents, can do better. So, Mr. Chairman, I as well wanted to do this as well as this, at the start. I have a card for everybody. Even have your picture on it there, Mr. Chairman, but I'm going to have them pass it out for both Democrats and Republicans. I intend to give these to everyone in the Congress and what it is, and I hope that we can join together, because I think the most important thing that we can do with regard to identity theft and with regard to Social Security is enhance the program. And Social Security has not been enhanced since Richard Nixon was the President of the United States in 1971. There have been no improvements. So when you get your card, and Mr. Chairman, I took the liberty, I blew up your card and my card, but everyone is going to get these. And on it, it will tell you just how many Social Security recipients you have in your district. And then it will break it down to those children in your district that are getting Social Security, to those veterans that are getting that Social Security. But most importantly, and something we don't talk enough about as well, is how this is an engine for economic recovery. Mr. Chairman, you have 161,374 Social Security recipients in Georgia's 3rd, and monthly, your district gets $270 million comes into the district. That's incredible. I have 147,662 Social Security recipients who get $270 million monthly. We have not improved or enhanced that in 52 years. A gallon of milk cost 72 cents in 1971. Obviously, everybody on this committee knows what's happened in terms of prices. And when you add that to what we're living in now, in terms of what political scientists and historians are calling a polycrisis, when you look at what's happening globally, just in the area of, let's say, the pandemic, the supply chain issues, the ensuing global inflation, and then add to that a global war, that's in essence what the Ukraine war amounts to, and you look at the pressure, who is the group that impacts the most? Seniors. How so? Everybody knows this, but we don't talk about it enough. Of the more than slightly over 1.2 million people who've perished in this pandemic, 855,000 were over the age of 65. Of the people that are impacted the most on inflation, those are people on fixed income. Those are the 66 million people on Social Security. They need our help, and they need it now. Not only in terms of protecting identity theft, but most importantly, the theft of not having their Congress do what it should do. 5 million of our fellow Americans get below poverty level checks, having worked all their lives and paid into a system that only Congress can change.